what we discussed was mobile usage, mobile balike has increased tremendously. It is because of parents ignoring the kids, parents trying to take their own time by giving mobile phones to kids so that they can relax at home. ಅದೊಂದು ಎರಡನೇದು due to Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, there are a lot of videos which is captivating the interest of the kids and also somewhere destroying the productivity of the kids. ಇದರಿಂದ what are the repercussions? Sleeplessness, unproductivity, homework ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಓದಲ್ಲ, they don't eat properly, or they don't eat on time, or limited quantity only. Mobile phone use ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ತಿಂತಾರೆ. And ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ parents are also having a difficult time managing all these tantrums. ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಫೋನ್ ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಹೋದ್ರು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಫೋನ್ ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು, ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ದೇ ಕ್ರೇವ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಫೋನ್ ಯೂಸೇಜ್. ಸೊ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸೊ ದೇ ಟೆನ್ ಟು ಈಟ್, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಿಂತಾರೆ, ಅದೇ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಸಾಕು. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ and also somewhere the common illnesses that can cause due to excessive use of mobile usage is vision impact, brain damage, nerve impact, fingers getting impacted due to this, or your sense, all senses are getting somewhere impaired due to excessive usage of mobile usage, and also television. Television, although it's a bigger screen, it is nothing but the same. Television ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, there is a limit. I mean, there is not that excessive damage when it compares to your mobile phone usage, because phones emit radiations. They emit gamma rays that may impact, that will definitely impact your brain in the longer run, especially younger kids. That should definitely be avoided. That is the recap of episode 1. That is what we discussed on the previous episode. On this episode, we're going to talk a little more detail into mobile phone usage and a lot more things that can lead to a lot more damage to parents. So I welcome all of you to the show Passionate Talks on the episode with Anuradha Madam, who is a consultant by herself and also a psychotherapist. So, Madam, welcome to the show again, once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on the show. It gives me immense pleasure to talk to you, be on the show, and we are indirectly doing a service by educating the masses. When they want to see something, they get really some value content from this. I am sure of that. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for having me over.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The intent of the show is the same, that there should be some value provided or value shared by us at the end of the day. I hope people watch and get some value out of it. So before we begin, uh, I request all of you to watch the previous episode so that they can relate to what we are talking today. Although this can be a separate topic for you, it can be a better value if you watch the previous episode. Fine. So let me jot it down. Okay. Yes, ma'am. So we were talking about a lot of ill effects on the parents and the kids. Oh, you also mentioned yesterday that you had many more topics to speak about: cybersecurity, cyber scam, phishing, etc. So let us start one by one. So I'll leave the stage to you. You take over the stage and you uh, please talk and share your knowledge with us.
So, as we all know, cyber crimes are on the rise, especially school children. They when they enter the teenage, they want to be on the social media. Maybe we can control, being in social media before 8th grade. Once they come to 8th grade, they all want to be a part of the social media, and they all want to, have an Instagram account or a Snapchat account. God knows, Tinder also. So So they are all into all this without understanding the dangers they are putting themselves in. And in the beginning, the parent is like a friend because they take the permission of the parent to be on this account. So the parent thinks, okay, I will follow my daughter and I will know what my daughter is up to and all that. But after a point of time, the parent does not get any notification about the child. That is when the parent tries to check, and the parent realizes that the parent was unfollowed, blocked, and whatnot. So they have no clue about and what the child is doing. And this is one thing which leads to the crime scene, cybercrime. The cyberbullying, there are a lot of issues when I talk about cyberbullying, especially teens. That is the time they have awareness about their body. So if they are not getting enough attention at home, they start, sharing pictures which are inappropriate with
Yes.
strangers, and this leads to emotional blackmail, I would say, and it damages the self-esteem of the child. So this is one thing which I would like to reiterate, especially the parents, to have a watchful eye on what the child is doing. It is better that you will be around. It will be nice if you are around. ನೀವು ಹತ್ರ ಇದ್ರೆ, it is best to see what the child is doing. Don't give them too much time. See, you are still a parent and you have the control. First, you need to realize that you cannot just allow your child to be on the net and later blame the child saying that she was on the net, she was using social media, that's why all this is happening, because that is
Yeah.
not going to work. So parents have to take some responsibility. Maybe if they are using phone, they should use only in the living room. Some ground rules should be set up so that parents are aware of the child's activity. And I also want to talk about this thing, like whatever we are going through, this digital crisis period which we are going through, because sometimes homework is sent, in through mobile phone.
Yeah.
So we cannot totally avoid them, but at the same time, we have to have a watchful eye as to what the child is up to. And in fact, interestingly, yesterday I had a client who is having internet gaming disorder. The child is a studious, brilliant child. He used to score, centum in math and all that. But now he is so addicted to gaming, and he is not able to concentrate in class. He says, I want to study, auntie, but I cannot because I am so addicted to this. The child tells frankly that he is addicted to the game.
Mm.
Here, if you see, children are so smart, even though the child is attending some online tuition.
Yeah.
So the child toggles between the tuition and the game.
Right.
Okay. And there is the huge shift that is happening. When you are in the gaming zone, different part of your brain is functioning. And when you are in the study mode, different part of your brain is functioning. So to jump from this to that, the child will not be able to understand the lesson that is being taught. So this, again, I will blame it on Corona, even though it is not right. But we have no other choice. We have to accept that there is a problem like this that is happening. And I also have another child who has come for counseling, again for concentration issue.
Mm.
That child is a studious child. There is no doubt about it. She accidentally clicked on one of the pop-ups that pop up during, some educational video, and she got glued to the porn stuff. And
Oh,
that has become an addiction. That has become an addiction. And that has damaged her so mentally, because she feels, see, children fail to understand whatever that is happening in the internet is real. They
yeah.
don't differentiate the reality and the reel that is, or shorts, or whatever you call that. They don't understand the difference. So they feel that nothing as such is happening in their life. Therefore, there is a dip in their self-esteem. Okay. So, and they don't have that courage to talk to their parents about this, because they do these things very secretively. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
So um, good luck, that girl somehow came out of it, and now she is in the mission to educate people about this.
Wow.
So at least that self-awareness has come from somewhere. I don't know from where. She came to me after this self-awareness came, and she needed some other guidance for concentration and all that. But whatever done is done, and whatever time she has wasted on the net, that is gone, and that
Yes.
cannot be brought back. We cannot rewind and say, no, I don't want to watch this. So children should be more assertive when such pop-ups, pop up. They have the tendency. Actually, the parents can do some filter. I think you are a techie. Maybe you can throw more light on that. To block these ads and pop-ups being popped up during the educational video or something.
Yeah.
And yes, sir.
Yeah, there are options to control that. There are ad blockers, and there is also a limit to restrict the kind of content you watch. So there are every browser has a setting where you can enable that will restrict your viewage or visibility of these kind of porn sites. You can restrict that completely. And if your kid is particularly watching a particular porn site, then you can also restrict the individual site so that if the child tries to watch it, it says blocked. So there are so many
Okay.
settings which the parents can learn through YouTube or through Google. Just Google how to restrict uh, settings, browser settings in my browser. So it will allow a lot of channels wherein the parents can learn and enable that in your browser. So if you're not controlling your kid, or if you're not monitoring your kid during the online classes, then this is one of the better options wherein you can restrict the visibility of these sites to the kids. The second alternate options is there are options now to monitor what your kids watches. So as soon as your online classes gets over, the parent has to go to the laptop, go to the desktop wherein the classes were taken, and go to the history and find out what are the sites your kid has watched the previous day or the same day. And with that, at least you come to know whether he's watching a good site or a restricted site, which
Yeah.
most people don't do. Most parents don't have time to look at what your kid is watching, what your kid is not supposed to watch. So
Sir,
one
I
of
have a question at this point. Sorry to
yes,
interrupt.
yes,
So
please.
if the child erases the history, where exactly can the parent check?
Well, history is something which can be erased every day.
Yeah.
Now, kids are smart to erase history. They know
Yes.
that parents
They know
or
a lot.
can keep track of it. But somewhere the browser will save the history in the cloud, so it can
Okay.
always be retrieved. But those data will be in the cloud of Yahoo or Google or some other website. It's not easy to uh, get
Retrieve those memories.
all the information from a common man. But if it's a business, definitely you can contact the company and get that information. If it's a cybercrime department will definitely contact the vendor and get the information from the cloud. So it's not available for the common man if it's deleted or it cannot be recovered. That is a challenge. But unless and until your child is not doing that, it is safe for the parent to go to the channel browser history and delete to see what content they're watching, and try to educate the kid on these kind of websites to be restricted and not to be watched. Uh, the other way,
As you mentioned aptly, no, as you mentioned aptly, the parent should have an open conversation with the child.
yes, absolutely. Uh,
Also, we need to understand why the child is watching.
yes,
Once
yes.
that is done, this will become easy.